You'll begin by logging into Freshgrade by clicking on the Freshgrade button on a Wolf Creek website. Clever will automatically log you in using your Wolf Creek credentials. You may need to add in your information. Once you're into Freshgrade, you should see your dashboard. You may not, but that's okay. Come up to your name up in the top right-hand corner and click the drop-down menu. You may have multiple classes here. Mr. John Snow only has one class, so I'm going to select that class. And then I'm going to click on Portfolios. This is where I can see the list of all of the students in my class. To activate the students or invite them to the class, what I need to do is click on Options and then Edit Student. I then click on I have permission to allow this student access to Freshgrade. This is covered under the Wolf Creek Technology Agreement. Then click Invite, which generates an access code that you will print for student use later. Click on Next Student and do the same thing for all of your students in your class. Again, Next Student. I'm just going to pop back here for 1 second to show you something. If a student already has an account, their username will show up rather than an access code. I'll show you what to do if that happens after we get through this section. So after you have invited all of your students, you're going to go back to your main portfolio list and you're going to print all of the access codes. This will look like 1 page per student. You'll hand those out to the students when they're ready to start logging in. So you will print those. And that's all you need to do to get your students active. When your students have their access codes, they will need to log into Freshgrade. They can do it the same way you did through the Freshgrade button on the school homepage. If they are on an iPad, they will need to download the Freshgrade student app and then they will enter through the app. Either way, it will look the same. On a Chrome base or Chromebook, they will be asked to allow their Google information to be transferred to Freshgrade. They can do that. Once they see this screen, they will need to enter the access code that you have given them. Again, they only need to do this the very first time they sign in. After that, they will create an account and use the I have an account button. Once they've entered that code, press View Portfolio. This code is not case sensitive. They can enter it without using uppercase letters. Getting them in the first time is just as easy as that. Now that your students are into Freshgrade, they need to create an account so they don't need to use that access code every time. Again, this looks the same either on an iPad or on a Chromebook. They need to find that green menu column on the left-hand side. If they can't see it, they click on the menu icon and it pops open. Click on Create an Account. Because our students' information is preloaded by PowerSchool, they will be given an automatically generated username. The username is always their first name and the first initial of their last name. Occasionally, they add a number on the end if that student's name is common. Have the students use their regular Wolf Creek password. They will need to enter it twice to confirm that they have the correct password and create an account. We can now confirm that they have an account by looking here. We see their username. And that from your teacher account, you will be able to see the students' usernames and change their passwords if necessary. To see their usernames, click on your name and make sure you're in the correct class. Once you have that class selected, select Portfolios from the top. Underneath each student's name, you can now see if their account is active with a username showing up right underneath their name. If they haven't connected their account yet, they will still have an access code. To change the student's password, you would again click on Options and Edit Student. And right here, you have the ability to reset their password by entering a new password for them. If students already have an account created from last year, or if they've done the previous steps with another teacher, they need to log in with their account information. If they are still finishing up from the last step, have them log out of Freshgrade simply by clicking on the log out in the menu. They will come to this window. When they do go to the Freshgrade students, they might very likely see the access code. Then they just click, I have an account, and they see this window and enter their new account information and click login. And that takes them right into the account, into their portfolio. Here we can see that students may have invites from other teachers once they're inside their account. Clicking on invites would show a list of other classes they've been invited to join. So the students don't need to have the access code for other classes. They will see their invites here. If your students are using a shared device, for example, a shared iPad in the classroom, remind them to log out every time so that other students don't have access to their portfolio.